Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. We're just going to hop right in and I'm going to ask a question. Has anyone ever heard that stress will give you cancer or stress will make you sick? Well, if you were like me, I completely did not believe that. I thought that that was crazy. There's no way that stress could cause something so severe. But we're gonna talk about why it can. Today, we're gonna talk about how stress can throw off your hormones and create a domino effect in your body. So, like a lot of young people, I did not treat my body so well. I partied hard, I didn't sleep, and I overworked myself, and home life was never really great. I carried a lot of stress, a lot of responsibility on my shoulders as a very young child. I am the oldest sibling of my family, so a lot of pressure and stress was put on me at a very young age. So that does contribute. So I can say I've had stress probably my entire life. I never really knew how to deal with my emotions. Was always told, don't cry, it makes you weak. I can go on and on and on about the amount of like psychological damage and stress that was caused in my life. But then I was became an adult, and once you hit adult life, you're kind of responsible for how you react to situations, how you control certain things in your life. And you cannot control um, things that happen, but you can control on how you react. So, again, very young, 21, 18, drinking heavily, not sleeping the way I should. That is a lot of stress. So at the age of honestly uh 18 to 20, I dealt with cystic acne. Um, then I found holistic way on how to clean up my acne by eating right, eating clean. But that's really all I changed. I went gluten-free, dairy-free, and mostly just ate chicken and fish. For my protein, I stayed away from beef. And then at 27, peer pressure happened, and I went back to my old ways. And cystic acne, pelvic pain, chronic infections, UTIs, yeast infections, all started piling on my body. Now, that is my summarized version of my story. Let's hop into why this may or may not have happened. Again, there are so many factors, so many different things that could cause your body to basically start to fail you. But we have something known as vital reserve, which is our body's innate intelligence to heal itself. Now, when we add in a bunch of things in a pot, you end up start cooking something. Now, I'm gonna try and make this super simple so that you're able to understand, but I want you to have a background on how this stuff works. So, stress stimulates the hypothalamus and then the pituitary gland and then a hormone known as cortisol that is secreted from the adrenal glands. Now, these glands are located on the top of the kidneys. Now, how does cortisol affect our hormones? I'm glad you asked. Well, cortisol is referred to as a stress hormone, and our body is meant to use cortisol as a temporary solution to our problem, whether external, internal. It is our flight or fight response. And this is a great for acute stress, when you got to get away, when you got to run away. But again, when it ends up being something chronic, a scenario, an issue, whether it's emotionally, internally, this can be detrimental to our entire body system. This being said, stress begins again in the brain and then follows all the way down through our entire body, but will start to downstream affect our hormones. You can think of this as, again, a domino effect. Um, and that may help you understand it a little bit better. So again, because we now live in a stressful world where every minute of every day is stressful, we have phones, technology at the tip of our hands. We're waking up stressed, we're going to sleep stressed. So again, it ends up being that now our adrenal glands also create a hormone known as DHEA. I I cannot pronounce the entire name, but if you look that up, you'll be able to see dehydro um, androsterone. You can look it up and you'll see the full name and a description of what it is. But this is basically is the parent of our sex hormones. Now, what ends up happening is the adrenals start to secrete one of these hormones at a time. And if the stress becomes too much, then the body needs to prioritize what's essential for survival and what's not. Now, it will prioritize cortisol because your body shifts to survival mode and it needs cortisol in order to survive. Now, you do not need to reproduce when you are in survival mode because you're just trying to stay alive. There's no need to create a baby at this time. Now, um, sorry guys. You're so that means that you will start producing more of the cortisol levels and decrease your sex hormones in order for you to stay alive. So then hormone imbalance begins with the ratio to cortisol and DHEA becoming imbalanced. And again, your cortisol is just prioritized over that. Now, here are some symptoms that, again, we are told, these are common and, it is what it is. It's normal. You're feeling stressed out, your inability to lose weight, low energy, fatigue, poor memory, anxiety, irritability, immune system issues, and so on, the need for coffee in order to stay awake. Now, I want to be very clear that these symptoms are extremely, extremely common. They are not normal. Your body should not be having these symptoms. If your body is having these symptoms, then there is an issue and you need to start figuring out where it's coming from, where the root cause is coming from. Now, this is just a very, very short description of exactly what is happening in your body. Now, this can go on and on. So what I did is I'm going to be putting a link for the full blog post of exactly what I'm talking about now for you to read. So feel free to click that link, read some more, get some more information. Also, subscribe and like. So if you like more of this information, more content will be coming out. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.